Nestory Irankunda, 20 years old, scored on his World Cup debut for Australia. Most of you had never heard his name before Sunday. Lamine Yamal, 18 years old, already one of the most feared wingers in world football. Spain's secret weapon at World Cup 2026. Endrick, just 20 years old, the most naturally gifted young striker on the planet, ready to announce himself to the world. The future of football is not coming, it is already here, right now at World Cup 2026. And today I am ranking the 10 best young players at this tournament, the ones you need to watch, the ones who will define the next decade of football. Let's count them down. Number 10, Nestory Irankunda, Australia, 20 years old. 3 days ago, most football fans in North America had never heard this name. After scoring on his World Cup debut against Turkey, everyone knows it now. Irankunda is a Bayern Munich academy product, born in Burundi, raised in Australia, and already showing the kind of composure in front of goal that most players take years to develop. His goal against Turkey was not lucky, it was not a tap-in, it was a composed, clinical finish from a 20-year-old playing in his first ever World Cup game. Number 9. Pedri, Spain, 23 years old. Some people will say Pedri is too old for a young players list. He's 23, but here's why Pedri is on this list. 23 years old with a Champions League title, multiple La Liga titles, a European championship, and now his first World Cup as the undisputed creative engine of one of the tournament favorites. Pedri controls time on a football pitch. That sounds dramatic, but watch him play. When Pedri receives the ball under pressure, he makes the right decision in half a second faster than any defender can react. Spain's entire World Cup campaign flows through Pedri in midfield. If he's fit and at his best, Spain win this tournament. Number 8. Warren Zaïre-Emery, France, 18 years old. This is the name on this list that most North American football fans will not know yet, and that is exactly why I'm putting him here. Zaïre-Emery is 18 years old and already a regular starter for Paris Saint-Germain in Ligue 1. His ability to drive forward from midfield, arriving late into the box, shooting from distance, combining with attackers in tight spaces, makes him one of the most complete teenage midfielders in world football right now. France's midfield has been a question mark going into this tournament. Zaïre-Emery is Didier Deschamps' answer to that question. Watch him in France's opening game. If he performs, France's path to the final becomes significantly clearer. Number 8. The French teenager nobody in North America is talking about, yet. Number 7. Endrick, Brazil, 20 years old. After Brazil's disappointing 1-1 draw with Morocco, one question is on every Brazilian fan's lips. Why did Ancelotti not start Endrick? Because Endrick, the 20-year-old Real Madrid striker, is the most naturally gifted young forward in world football right now. His finishing is extraordinary, his movement in the penalty area is already at Champions League level, and his hunger, the desperation of a 20-year-old who knows this is his moment, is something that cannot be coached. Brazil struggled against Morocco without Endrick in the starting lineup. The question going into Brazil's next game is simple. Does Ancelotti start him? If he does, Brazil becomes significantly more dangerous. If he does not, Brazil risk going out of this tournament without ever finding out what their best team actually looks like. Number 6. Xavi Simón, Netherlands, 22 years old. Named after the greatest Spanish midfielder of his generation and already showing he can live up to that extraordinary name. Simón at RB Leipzig was one of the most consistent performers in the Bundesliga last season. Goals, assists, dribbles, he does everything. For the Netherlands, who I have in B tier at this tournament, Simón is the player who can single-handedly elevate them from B tier to genuine dark horse status. His ability to play between the lines, finding pockets of space that other players simply do not see, makes him almost impossible to mark in a man-to-man system. Netherlands fans know what Simón can do. The rest of the world is about to find out. Number 5. Julio Enciso,
Paraguay, 21 years old. Now I know what you're thinking. Paraguay lost 4-1 to the USA. Why is a Paraguay player in the top 5 of this list? Because Julio Enciso, despite being on the losing side, was one of the most technically gifted players on the pitch in that entire game. His assist for Paraguay's consolation goal was a perfectly weighted pass that cut through the entire USA midfield. At Brighton in the Premier League, Enciso has shown consistently that he can perform at the highest level of club football. Paraguay are going home early, but Enciso is not going home as a failure. He's going home as a 21-year-old who showed the world exactly what he's capable of on the biggest stage in football. 4. Jamal Musiala, Germany, 22 years old. Germany are in my A tier at this tournament, and the single biggest reason for that placement is Jamal Musiala. At Bayern Munich, Musiala is already one of the most complete attacking midfielders in world football. His dribbling in tight spaces is extraordinary, his goal contributions are elite, and his big game mentality, performing in Champions League knockout games without flinching, is something most 22-year-olds simply do not have. Germany's World Cup campaign lives through Musiala's ability to unlock defenses that sit deep against them. Number 3. Lamine Yamal, Spain, 18 years old. I told you about Yamal before this tournament started in my player rankings video. I said watch him. I said he will have a moment at this World Cup that people talk about for years. That moment hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. I'm more convinced of that now than I was before the tournament started. Yamal plays football like someone who's never been told what is and is not possible at his age. He takes on defenders in positions where experienced players play the safe pass. He attempts combinations that 30-year-old veterans consider too risky, and he executes them. At Euro 2024, he was the best player at the tournament at 16 years old. At World Cup 2026, at 18, he's ready to do it again on an even bigger stage. Number 2. Florian Wirtz, Germany, 22 years old. Last season at Bayer Leverkusen, Wirtz was the best player in the Bundesliga. Not one of the best, the best. His vision, his passing range, his ability to score from seemingly impossible positions, his composure when the game is on the line. Wirtz is the complete attacking midfielder, and at 22 years old, he's already performing at a level that most players don't reach until their late 20s. Germany's best chance of going deep at World Cup 2026 is Wirtz and Musiala playing together in the same midfield, creating a combination that no team at this tournament has a reliable answer to. Number 1. The best young player at World Cup 2026. Now I saw Yamal at number 3 and you thought I was done with him, but here's the thing. I put Yamal at number 3 in my pre-tournament player rankings video. That was before a ball was kicked. After watching the first week of this tournament, after seeing what Irankunda did for Australia, what Musiala is doing for Germany, what Endrick could do for Brazil, I'm moving Yamal to number 1. Not because of what he's done yet at this specific tournament, but because of what I genuinely believe he's about to do. Yamal is 18 years old and already the most technically gifted wide player at this tournament. His dribbling success rate,
His chance creation, his ability to perform in the biggest moments. Euro 2024 proved all of that. At World Cup 2026, with Spain as genuine title contenders, with Pedri creating space for him in midfield, with the entire Spain system built around maximizing his threat, Yamal is going to have a moment in this tournament that defines his generation. A goal, an assist, a dribble, a moment in a knockout game that makes the entire world stop and say, this kid is special. Number 1. Lamine Yamal, the best young player at World Cup 2026 and the future of football right now. That is the kickoff verdict. Now I want to know yours. Who is missing from this list completely? Who should be higher? Who should not be here at all? And most importantly,
Which of these 10 players do you think will have the defining young player moment of World Cup 2026? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I read every single one. This is Kickoff Verdict. We rank, we debate, we never sit on the fence. Subscribe and hit the bell. We post every single day during World Cup 2026. That is the Kickoff Verdict. See you tomorrow.